The first speaker in the public comment period that's been continued would be Mr. Bob Olson.
Mayor and Council, as both a current BWP board appointee and past member of the Charter Review Committee, I am speaking tonight out of concern about how the problems with BWP rate proposals expressed in this chamber can overlook the municipal code and charter provisions that govern the relationship between City Council and the utility. Clearly, the elected City Council is the utility rate-making, budget, and governing authority. Also as clearly, public sentiment opposing rate increases has more often than not been at odds with the established policy that the utility requires rates sufficient to maintain its financial health within the laws, direction, rules, and regulations it must follow. Under the adopted utility rates and services provisions, the general manager assesses the utility's revenue requirements and makes recommendations to council as to the need for change. A key consideration with the electric and water fund budgets before you is whether the rate increases as recommended by the general manager fulfill the requirement to fully recover costs when revenues are offset by expenses. Having participated in the budget review process at the board level, there's no question in my mind that Mr. Davis has done his job in assessing the utility's financial requirements with this budget recommendation, supported by concerted effort of staff and the board as well. From the beginning of his tenure, out of utility financial necessity, Mr. Davis instituted a culture of cost containment that has filtered down to every aspect of BWP operations. The utility governance model under Mr. Davis's stewardship has emphasized metrics and fiscal responsibility, and he has made it part and parcel of the board fulfilling its role. It may not be well known that your board appointees go over BWP's results monthly and take the opportunity to question each explanatory note from staff as to monthly and year-to-date budget variances as well as operating issues. Also, the BWP board in the last several years has been authorized to approve individual expenditures within the council-adopted budget. The items brought forward are always expected to reflect staff's cost consciousness compared to the budget before approval is sought by board member vote. How well does the BWP governance under Mr. Davis work? Consider how both LADWP and BWP recently transitioned to modernized customer billing systems. LADWP's transition was beset with customer problems, was millions over budget, and prompted the state to ask for an audit. BWP's customer service staff executed our transition superbly, including regular monthly board updates and Q&A sessions for ongoing input in the transition plan. BWP's transition was on time, on budget, and with minimal billing errors. The VP in charge, Joanne Fletcher, is being recognized this week by Senator Liu as a leader and as an outstanding local businesswoman. In my opinion, and considering the upcoming budget adoption vote, it is not enough to say simply that BWP is well run. All our neighboring utilities are facing the same challenges. I think it would be helpful to public understanding if Council were to emphasize that BWP's proposed 2.9% electric rate increase compares to 7% and 8% being sought by Glendale and Pasadena, and that under current governance model, BWP's projected future electric rate increases are well below surrounding municipal and investor-owned utilities. At any level of discussion, there is no such thing as willing acceptance of utility rate increases. However, it might assist Council in publicly discussing the proposed electric rate increase if Burbank ratepayers can hear how much the relative electric rate increases and rate ramps favor BWP ratepayers over those served by neighboring utilities. Pointing that out from the dais might offer ratepayers assurance that the general manager is staying true to his management practices that maintain the financial health of the utility in the face of state mandates. And at the same time, it is readily apparent to you that he is working with all parties to make strategically beneficial financial decisions and to create efficiencies to limit rate impacts to the extent possible.